Welcome back. So much love going on in the chat room. I can't tell you guys how much I appreciate it. Just very, very sweet. Just everybody, just so lovely. Thank you. That's all I can say. We've got. I think we already have a caller on the line, but so let's get the caller real quick, and then we'll jump in to the Arizona recount because I want to make sure we get to this. So who do we have on the line, Chicago?
We got EO in the chat room.
EO in the chat room. EO, welcome. Electric Outcast for those of for the who's at home. Are you there?
Happy birthday, boss.
Oh, thanks, man. Thank you so much. Thank you, EO. I appreciate it, brother. That's really sweet. I did not know that was you there, and I'm so glad.
Yeah, and I wanted to also give a heartfelt message. So,
okay,
I've followed you ever since I discovered you on I Love the 80s Strike Back. I did not know that you were active in the 90s.
Right.
But you probably weren't safe. Your stand-up material probably wasn't safe for children back in the day.
No, definitely. Still not technically. Still not technically. I'm just saying. Whoops, I doubled myself. Okay, go ahead.
But I was just saying that if I'd have found you a little bit sooner as a kid and your stand-up was safe for children, you would have been my Garth Brooks of stand-up comedy. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart.
Thanks. I appreciate that, man. It means a lot, and it's great. It's been great to have you in and amongst our crowd for all this time as well. Every time I think of this, I think of the line in Smells Like Teen Spirit. Our little gang has always been and always will until the end. It's a group actually, but you know what I mean. But thanks so much, man. I appreciate it. And hopefully we will be back to doing live shows before long, and I can get down your way and we can go on the worldwide hug tour so we can see everybody post-COVID.
Well, if you don't come back to St. Louis, at least come to Poplar Bluff, because that's where I'd be living. That's where I'll probably be living next year.
All right. Well, yes, St. Louis is probably the easier bet, but I will do everything I can to try and make sure that happens. So fear not. Excellent. Well, thanks for calling, brother. I appreciate it. And we'll make this a yearly thing, no matter what. Even when you call in at other times, we'll make this a regular birthday thing. We need our call from EO on the birthday. So thanks, man. Sorry, my iPad is falling over. My stuff is going crazy. I'm trying my best to try and organize my show in a hotel. And it's just, sometimes it just doesn't want to play nice with me. It just does not. So, all right, let's get to the Arizona recount. Okay, so for those of you who haven't seen it, yesterday I live streamed the Arizona gathering of the state senate there with Karen Fann and Richard Nixon and the Cyber Nunchucks and Right Side Broadcasting Network being there, looking really bagged out, which was amazing. They apparently, and I think it had to do personally with the fact that someone had leaked the report the day before, and so everybody was, what you saw in the news was that, thank you so much for the super chat as well. What you saw on the news, there were some people going, well, we don't know. This isn't the final. This is the draft report. We don't know for sure if this is how it's going. It's exactly how it turned out. There's no, the folks that took 5 months to do something that they were supposed to have finished in 6 weeks, releasing a draft report the night before they're going to release it. They're not doing any extra work. There's no one in this crowd they're not like, yeah, dude, I just have a couple more things.
Be big revision all night.
No, all they did was like finish it, go to dinner, and that was it. It opened with Dr. Shiva, the alleged inventor of email, talking about the statistical anomalies that pointed to the fact that there's just no way that this many people voted, or what they voted for. It's just this dice rolling conjecture. It's ridiculous. And then they actually had the guy from Cyber Ninjas, who I've never really seen speak before this thing, gave his presentation in front of the thing. And probably people went and said, oh, they found 99 more votes for Biden. What they didn't report on was the fact that Trump lost 241 votes on top of that, and Joe Jorgensen lost 206. And
so that's where the fraud was.
Oh, wait.
Losing votes means there was fraud.
Somebody was messing around with it. Well, where did that lie? Well, the big wind-up, the part of it where if you're watching it and you don't know, if you're watching this like, oh my God, they found something. If, you know what I mean? Where a moment where you'd go, hold on, I thought this was a joke. And now all of a sudden, they've discovered something serious in this. Was in the duplicate ballots. There were 33,000 some odd duplicate ballots for 17,000 some odd original voters. And in the duplication process, there was sort of a sketchy sleight of hand around a few hundred ballots where they got the same lot number or the same serial number on the page, or they ended up in the box together with the original and they shouldn't have. They should have only been separated into the duplicates box. Now, what do you think when you're following it up? When you're following up that statement, there were all kinds of sketchy things going on in the duplicates department. What do you think is the one thing that Trumpers do not want to hear you say after you've just set them up like, oh my God, this is it. We've discovered it. 30,000 duplicate votes. That's way more than we need. They obviously all, this is going to turn the election. The way you basically overinflate these tires and then knife them is say what he said, which was that the duplication process favored Trump in every way. So if anyone is going to be caught, if law enforcement is going to be brought into this, and they found that somebody was stacking votes on behalf of a candidate, the only thing the cyber ninjas found where there were votes that were unaccounted for, that were somehow in there that might have been counted, they weren't, by the way, all of those duplicates favored Donald Trump and gave him an edge in. So and it is not hard to believe that there would be some, Trump sycophant doubling up some votes, just every 10th one. I'm just making a duplicate and we'll just put those together and hide them in there and we'll count them.
It's the whole weird Machiavellian, I know it when I see it. I know that what I'm doing is right.
It's right, yes.
For the greater good.
It's okay if you lie for Jesus. That's what it is. It's not really a lie if you're lying for the Lord. And by Lord, I mean Lord Donald Trump.
Yes, sir.
This was the big gotcha. This is the big piece they were waiting for because the votes lined up. And by the way, all of the votes that they had and the state counted were identical. It was they were off by like 300 in their count, and it was based on judgment of whether or not they would have counted something or whether or not they would have kicked something to the curb. And in the case of Biden, they added 99 votes that they thought should have been counted. And in the case of Trump, they ejected 241 votes that they would not have said were legitimate. And again, Joe Jorgensen also padded in an odd way, 200 votes.
I forgot about that guy. I forgot about that whole thing.
Well, he was absolutely a factor in this, but and here's the. I don't know how many you could argue, I guess, that somebody could be faking Joe Jorgensen's votes to hurt Trump because it's an independent and whatever, but I don't know why they wouldn't just go and make Biden votes. You know what I mean? Right. If you're going to fake it, why, if you're going to walk up to the bell, ring the bell is how we look at it. We got to take a break. We'll be back right after this. It's a complete dud. And so you can understand why Texas would want to jump on this bandwagon and start just, drilling for oil in their own backyard. There are 4 cities that are they're going to dive 4 counties which contain the biggest cities. They're going to go into those because there must be a bunch of illegals. That's what it was. Bunch of illegals doing that. Thank you, Jay, for the super chats.
What it was.
Yeah. We'll be back right after this with more of the Hal Sparks radio program, Mega Worldwide Birthday Edition. Pour moi. We'll be back.
Attention.
really
Stop
good
what
way.
you're doing. Because we're coming back to the Hal Sparks radio program, Mega Worldwide.
They went a little crazy with it, and I appreciate it.
Now let's get back with Hal Sparks radio program, Mega Worldwide.
You know, I have to say, overall, as birthday weeks go, this one's been pretty darn sweet. First of all, I'm with my love, and we're in Washington, D.C., and that's a lovely thing. I get to see your beautiful face, Johnny, on the weekend, on the actual day.
Yeah.
And as we're here, first, Biden gives me the gift yesterday of not protecting Trump with executive privilege, which is just adorable.
That's the best.
Oh, it's so good. And hold on, I think I froze you up on here because I was gonna try and play Brett Baer calling Arizona for in Chicago. I don't know if you can find that. You can find it on it's on Twitter and Raw Story. Brett Baer of Fox News calling Arizona for Biden again, and just like he did last time, by the way. You know, he was the guy who actually did it before and caught so much heck. But so this week, Trump's not getting protected by executive privilege. 4 subpoenas go out to Steve Bannon and company, all of whom they're going to have to answer these subpoenas. They're not going to be able to have Trump protect them and keep them from showing up. What else?
Isn't the consequences of my own action.
Actually, right. Look who's at the door, honey. It's karma. And then, of course, yesterday the Cyber Ninjas bury their story in the afternoon on a Friday. If you couldn't tell, it was gonna stink. The fact that they didn't have it, wait till Monday to set the week off. You know what I mean? Like there was so much choice news this week. Let's see. Maybe you guys can hear it if I play it on here.
Trump is suing his news for $100 million.
In Arizona,
Yeah.
that audit that had been talked about.
Hold on. Let's see if I can. I'll bring this up on here. I think you guys should be able to hear it.
Okay.
On this one. Wish me luck.
Came out today.
Hold on. I've got it. Does that sound all right?
Yeah, sounded great.
Great. Here you
A
go.
report on the 2020 presidential vote in Arizona, that audit that had been talked about, came out today. That report indicates, according to reports there on the ground, the review of more than 2 million votes in Maricopa County, Arizona, confirms that President Biden's win in the county and the state was in fact a win. The tally in the document showed a net gain of 360 votes for Joe Biden over the official results. As we get more from Arizona, we'll bring that to you here.
Yeah. What? And by the way,
That was
Biden,
Fox News, right?
That was Fox News. That's Brett Baer, Fox News. Oh, it's just
His hair was slowly sliding off of his head.
Right. Yeah, he was just melting like one of the Nazis at the end of Raiders. Like he'd stared into the arc. Right.
And the whole time in the back of his mind, he's like, so this is what it's like to be a newsreader, to
Right.
actually present news.
This is what the truth feels like. Ew. And my mic might be a little hot right now too. So do I always have to fix to try to drive this? Oh, I see. It self-regulates. It's maybe a little bit. Okay, there we go. So for me, this has been across the board a pretty great week. Now we're looking at Monday. They're bringing the bipartisan infrastructure bill to a vote in the House. There's a lot of wailing and gnashing of teeth about whether or not progressives will, stomp their feet and hold their nose and refuse to vote for it because they don't think they're going to get the $3.5 trillion package. There's, the Republicans sort of pressing to use the reconciliation vote that the Senate has on instead of on the $3.5 trillion package, they want them to use it just to raise the debt ceiling. Now, the interesting thing is, you attach the debt ceiling to that $3.5 trillion package, you're kind of, that's game, set, match, one would think. I mean, it depends on how much pressure they actually feel, because a lot of people might feel like, oh, well, I'm not voting for that giant thing just because it has that associated. We need a separate bill, and there's that wailing for a week, right? Hopefully, let's see, sonically, we're okay, better, okay. This has been a good week. Next week will be a lot of wailing and gnashing of teeth, but the reality is that, in my opinion, both of these bills are going to get passed. The $3.5 trillion bill will probably be closer to 3.1, but by the time all is said and done, one of the tricks might be, and I've told you guys this, I mentioned this early on, I don't know why people don't listen to me.
And you know what, Hal? I'm going to start.
Oh, thanks. It's as good a time as any, as a birthday present.
I'm going to start like any day soon.
Because again and again, and like about the Cyber Ninjas thing, the one of the other big reveals they had was that there were 74,000 votes that everybody was clamoring about that were they were mailed out but never, or they were received but they were never mailed out. Oh my Lord! They mailed. How do you receive something in the mail that was never sent out in the first place? Well, it's because people walked into the early voting offices. They print out your what would be mail-in vote. You go fill it out, put it in the envelope, and hand it back to them. And some of the recorders make you put it in the envelope and sign the envelope. And other ones just say you can hand your ballot in one of the other envelopes. You can't make me.
Oh, sorry.
The ballot envelopes that they give you at the polling places, so in some cases. So you can get either one. And so there's a little bit of variance in that. It's discretionary to the states and to the counties, and it doesn't make any difference in the overall vote at all. 74,000 votes, and those are the ones, by the way, that Trump was saying, that, what beyond the duplicates, which again we know favored him, the 74,000 mystery votes. How do you get ballots that were never mailed out? Clearly they were printed in China on panda poop and mailed in. And it turns out those were the ones that people walked in and said, I would like to vote early. I don't trust Louis DeJoy. They were largely Democrats, as most of the people who voted by mail were. And that counts for that entire number. And in the middle of the presentation yesterday in Arizona, wouldn't you know it, Cyber Ninja's head, Fred Skimpledimple. I don't know what his name is. I don't care.
Wait, say it one more time.
Fred Skimpledimple. That's what I'm going to call him.
I think that's it. You're saying it just right.
John Boy Walton. With
the H.
Yeah.
Gotta pronounce the H.
Walton. Yeah.
Walton.
One of the big things he brought up was this, obviously one of the things people were drawing a lot of attention to was the 74,000 votes and like how can they put it, and he reiterated this again. It was almost as if he was teeing it up just to mess with the Trumpsters and maggots in the audience.
Yeah, to get them all excited.
Yeah, just like, oh, here comes 74,000 votes, this is that. And then he just kneecapped him again, going, and then we of course got a letter from the Secretary of State's office that these are obviously people who came and walked in person and did their voting in person, so that didn't really turn out. And everybody's like, you could just
copying and pasting this in Facebook for so long.
Yeah, Fred Scrimpledimple. That's the dude from Cyber Nunchucks. He's the chief CEO of Cyber Nunchucks, and he does Cyber Ninja Stars. Doing. Every time this guy brought up one of the biggest conspiratorial things, what everybody was waiting for bated breath to hear about, he would lead in with all this is suspicious. It's really, and what you realize after a while of listening to him is that he is justifying the waste of time and waste of money.
Right, yeah.
He's basically saying to the state Senate of Arizona, this is why people were a little upset, or this is why people thought this needed to be looked into. They came to me, okay? I didn't come up with this stuff. They came to me and begged me to take on this job, and so we did. But this is the reasoning behind it. Watching that kind of like rise and fall as it was just a joy in and of itself. And now they're going to do the exact same thing in Texas. And I got news for you, folks. That's going to be just as fun.
Yeah.
That is going to be like that. When they go through Texas, they are going to, I'm calling it right now, add Biden votes in every county. Because there are sections of every county that are very, they're mostly Republican anyways, but there's sections of those counties that are extremely Republican. And if anybody was sidelining mail-in votes or bad signatures because they're like, yeah, I don't think this one's real, and erring on the side of getting rid of as many mail-in votes as possible, It was Texas. Tell you what, Cyber Ninjas, after your fine work in Arizona, can I interest you in Ohio, Florida, and Kentucky while you're at it?
Yeah.
Because Kentucky has a Democratic governor, but magically Mitch McConnell running away with it. Do I think it's going to change the outcome of the election? Or no? Do I think it's going to, would it be a statistically significant number to maybe give one of these states electoral votes to Biden? And by the way, if just one of them, let's just say, I mean, it's obviously not going to change the election at all.
But that would be amazing.
But if
just one more.
Oh, if they did, he made them go into Wisconsin and Ohio and Michigan and Pennsylvania and everything stayed pretty much the same. And there was like 100 votes here and there. But one of them, just one of them was like
Trump.
Oh, actually, yeah, one of the Trump Electoral College votes. And by the way, this could absolutely happen. This is I don't doubt that there's a level of chicanery in some of these states, on the Republican side that just where they're just locking down.
I love a good chicanery board, by the way, with some nice dried meats.
Yeah, and some dehydrated fruit, some cranberries. Mm-hmm. Sorry, cranberries. I always mispronounce it when I'm around you. I apologize. I do think there is a genuine possibility, personally, that if they really dug deep on one of these states, that where it was, it seemed like a sound Trump,
sure.
run of it. Yeah, that if they really started digging, you'll see, and this is what happened in Arizona. You'll see Republicans refusing to let this happen. Republicans refusing, like, no, don't, no, please don't look into the, why not? We think Biden got some extra votes here, and we think that's why Trump lost the popular vote is because of all these fake votes in our state. No, guys, please don't. Why? Because you're going to find out that Trump actually lost a state. Like that. Yeah. That's what it reeks of. In any of these states where you've got Republicans pushing back on these things in the Republican states, it just reeks of they believe there was fraud, but to benefit Trump. Now, do I think they were able to concoct an amount that would have, made a huge difference? Was it, in the hundreds of thousands of votes or even tens of thousands? No. I think it was pitiable attempts. But the line to the people in there who were like, every little bit counts, might be just enough. We got to take a break. We'll be back right after this. It's the House Sparks Radio program, Mega Worldwide. And thank you, by the way, oh my gosh. Dead Sea Genesis, thank you so much for the super chat. And Thomas Major, thank you as well for saying happy freaking birthday on the super chats. You guys are so wonderful. I can't tell you how much I appreciate this. This is very sweet. It's very heartwarming. We'll be back right after this. I'm gonna get all like teary-eyed because of all the super chats and everybody wishing happy birthday and stuff in there.
It's a little ridiculous.
It's lovely. These are like right side.
Ridiculous. I mean, these people are insane. That's what I'm trying to say.
Quit it.
There's something really wrong with all these people ignoring you.
No, it isn't.
You're a little too aggressive with that, Johnny.
Excuse me. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I have been doing this show for free for over a decade.
Yeah. As long as we can do that.
Yes.
I kid.
Johnny doesn't think I'm worth it.